going to talk with a woman here. She's got a sign that says, "Stop the propaganda. We need a boss, not Bass." I like that sign. What's your name?
Ann Juliano.
Ann, and did you lose a home here?
Yes, we did. It's the childhood home my brother and I grew up in.
Yeah. What's the thing that makes you the craziest? I know there's probably 25 things, but what's the stuff that you repeatedly go back to?
There's a lot. That day when we evacuated, I smelled the smoke. I went outside, I saw it. We were very close to the start of the fire, and we just left immediately. And at that point, I said to myself, I'll be back tonight. We have the best fire department in the world. And 2 days later, our house burned down.
2 days later?
Yeah, that does not make sense. I have video footage from an off-duty fire department official of our house when it caught on fire. Not one fire truck is on that street.
So for 2 days, nobody showed up on your block?
Well, I don't know what happened that day. Our ring camera went off, but I know the day of the house burned down, there was not one fire truck on our street.
When you hear the stories this week in the Times about how there were 7 rewrites of the investigative report, this morning they found out that it was sent to Karen Bass, and she wanted more refinements.
Yeah, we knew that. This is not a mistake and not just bad management. That's why I say this is propaganda. They call it a wildfire. They call it a natural fire. This was not wild. This was not natural. This was not one day. This was an entire month of decisions made to destroy this community. I don't know why.
I was going to ask you why. I mean, a lot of people feel the way you do.
Yes.
I don't discount anything anymore, but it seemed, well, your slogan of this whole rally, they let it burn. Why would they let it burn?
I don't know, but I think that the report on the fire department is tip of the iceberg. Were you here that day, that week, when it went on fire?
I live in Brentwood, yeah.
So you remember the media conferences every morning. They all stood up, thanked themselves for the great job they were doing. I have tons of video footage where there are just fire trucks are not there. I have a friend who in New York asked to come and help. They were told not to come. They were told not to help. We have volunteer firefighters, over 1,000 called in. They were told not to come. Why? Why wouldn't you put every resource and the amount of effort and love that was given to this city and to this town to be able to save it, and it wasn't given? And days went by where nothing happened and they refused that help? That's not a mistake. I don't understand why you would do that, but it's not a mistake. It's on purpose. And I really think we need to be treated with respect. We need to be told the truth. But if you don't want to tell me the truth, fine, don't tell me the truth. But don't call it a natural fire. Don't call it a wildfire. This is completely man-made, and I don't know why.
The part where the state parks reps threw out the LA Fire Department and they actually left in order to save the milk veg plant from being trampled on. That one will stick in my head forever.
There's a lot of things about what happened in January of last year that needs to be questioned. There's a lot of things.
Do you think you're ever going to get...
the biggest elephant in the room, too?
Why is the reservoir still empty? Why haven't they filled that up? There's still homes in the
They
Highlands.
filled up a little bit, but not all the way, yeah.
Thank you very much. Your name again?
Ann Juliano.
Ann. Now, this is your brother. All right, so we're going to talk to Ann's brother now, who's holding a sign, Fix LA Services. Yeah, just about all of them. What's your name?
Joe Juliano.
Joe, we just talked to your sister there. What are your feelings about all of it?
Sure. So it's very complicated. I think the sense of loss is enormous because it's not just a house, it's losing so much of the community. All the schools that we went to growing up, the library, just where we used to play, the grocery stores, everything. And so it's just massive, and it should have never happened. And that was always our thought, is it should have never happened.
Your sister went through a list of things that they didn't do or that they botched. And at the end, she goes, it makes me wonder, was it on purpose? Why would they do this? What do you think?
I can't understand it either, because I can't understand why, when you know you have a reservoir that is meant for backup firefighting purposes, and you've left it empty for so long. And it was so cheap to put water in there, and they didn't do it. And why would you do that? If you don't drive around town on an empty tank of gas and wait for your car to putter out, you go to the fill station, you fill it up. So why didn't they do that? And so, and it's not a short period of time. It's not a week or a month. It
A
was,
year.
Yeah. So it's very difficult to not think that that was not just negligence, not just recklessness, but intentional.
And then they tell you, well, it wouldn't have mattered.
That's a lie. Why did they tell the firefighters to stand down? Didn't they say they did that because there was no water? So yeah, I don't believe any of that. Yeah. And our family has lived here for 50 years, and we've seen fires throughout those 50 years, and they've always been caught before there've been any structure fires or very few structure fires. Having this many structures burned down, having right here, this building right here that was what, 1910 or something like that?
Yeah.
Over 100 years old, caught on fire. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's very difficult to say that these mistakes were inconsequential.
What do you want done now?
Fix LA services. You know, the water department should provide water. The fire department should fight fires. The LAPD screwed up too, because they screwed up on evacuation, told people to abandon their cars. We almost had a bunch of people, you know, burn and running from their parked cars on Palisades Drive. They screwed up on that. There was nobody here fighting any fires. We couldn't even come back to our house to save the irreplaceables. You know, what was that for LAPD? So all the LA services failed us, and all of them need to be fixed.
All right, thanks very much.